Hello everyone, this is Reggie Patterson and welcome to this week's Tuesday tip. This week I wanted to talk about building trust with your prospects and customers. Let's talk about entering the market as a teacher. And this is going to be a step where we're going to be talking more mindset than when we're talking about something that you're actually going to be doing. In order to get to the point where you're going to make a recurring offer stick to the customer, or one where they're going to be more than happy to take, you're going to have to overcome a trust barrier. Most people aren't going to trust you enough when they see an offer when they first meet you, where they're just going to start paying you monthly and then engage in a membership. That's most people. And there's no easy way to overcome that trust barrier. But as long as you're willing to accept the fact that there are some steps that you can take, if you understand that typically this is not a short process, you are going to be fine. Now, in some cases, it may happen faster than you think, but it's typically not going to be a short process. Now, what you've got to do first is you've got to have a mindset when you go into a market or you go into a niche, and it does not matter what you're selling. It matters particularly well if you're selling an information product or if you have an information business, but it works the same if you don't have one. If you will go into your market and become the teacher in your market, become a source of reliable information about whatever it is that you sell, about the category in which you sell, you are then going to be positioning yourself to be able to say to your customers that you're going to be the person that they need to buy from. So the very first thing is a mindset. It's saying, I'm going to be an educator. I'm going into my market and I'm going to teach on the things that make my customer better customers. And then when they become better customers, they're then going to be looking at what it is that I sell. Now, when you go into the market as a teacher, that's your proof. So you are going to be saying to people indirectly, without having to say it, you're worthy of them making a recurrent payment. Now, remember that the goal is not just to get customers. You don't have to do all this just to get a customer, although it helps. If you don't have any customers, this can help you to get some. But even if you don't have any, you are now pointing yourself in a direction that your online business really needs to go so that you work through getting sales all the way to getting recurring revenue. Now, you don't have to go into a market saying you're the expert unless you really are the expert. Now, you may be head and shoulders above everyone else, and you may really know what it takes to be called the expert. Even if that's the case, you don't have to go in saying that. And one of the main reasons is because you're going to be looking to other people in the niche if you get that opportunity to partner with them and to have them work with you. And so we'll be talking about that later here in this session. But you go in with a mindset that you are going to establish expert status by becoming a teacher. You're going to educate your market. You're going to educate them on everything that there is about your market, about your niche, about whatever the problems are, so that they will then be able to find you and find you credible. And right on the heels of that, if you go in with that mindset, you need something to do. And the something to do is to give yourself away. How are you going to give yourself away? You're going to do free training. And that's the way that you establish yourself as a teacher. That's the thing to do. That's the tangible, and you're going to do a problem-based training. What you're going to do is you're going to teach on the problems that your market is having. Whatever the problem is, you are then going to make sure that you touch on those problems, and what you're basically saying to your customer or potential customer is, I know what the problems are. Now, actually, you do need to know what the problems are in the market or niche, but if you know what those problems are, you want to speak to the market and tell them, hey, I know what these problems are. And when you train, you are speaking to the problems that you know they're having, and you're speaking knowledgeably about what the solution is, but what you've got to do is you've got to diagnose what the problem is. Now, when you do this, your training really should be weekly. There are all kinds of ways to do this. You don't have to do a weekly training. Your business model may not necessarily fit that. But most cases, if you are running some kind of information marketing business or you are a consultant, you should be able to find a time to train weekly, to do some kind of weekly training. And a rule of thumb, you can do it as long as you want. You can do it as short as you want. The rule of thumb is about 15 to 30 minutes. 15 to 30 minutes once a week, and do it on all of your platforms, social and otherwise. Now, make sure the training is going to be serial. People know it's going to be every Thursday at 7:30 or every Tuesday at 6 or every Wednesday at 9:30. Whatever it is, do it at the same time. So make it so that if you came this week, you need to come next week, and you come the next week at the very same times you came this week. And you've got to establish that if you really do want people to come.
In every training now, you're not just giving things away, you're giving away the knowledge, but after each training, you're going to make a call to action. You're going to ask people to do something. You're going to ask them to go to your website and become part of your email marketing list. You're going to ask them to buy what you're relevantly talking about there in the workshop. And if you would like some help getting started, you might want to check out our strategic marketing framework training that my team put together. You can find that at impc.ws/SMF. Also, be sure to check out our Digital Retirement Rebels Insider Club. You can take a look at that at impc.ws/14day. Okay, everybody, thanks for hanging out with me tonight and have a great night. Take care.